How's it going, everybody? Nick Atkin here. It is the Monday show, One Championship podcast. Gonna recap everything that happened last weekend at One Fight Night 32, where I was in Bangkok at Olympic Stadium. Also, One Friday Fights 111. Nice double header of shows, plenty of talking points from both, and some big news even since that. And before that, some new matchups to talk about for One Fight Night 33 and One Fight Night 34, plus also the 10 poll, which is coming up in a few weeks, just gets bigger and bigger. A lot of exciting new fights have been released for that in the last couple of days as well. What's good, says official Lewis. I'm good, Lewis. Thanks for your tip. I managed to get hold of a Nintendo Switch 2 here in Hong Kong. So I went to the Nintendo store in Bangkok on Friday afternoon because I had a free morning and afternoon because they didn't have face-offs. They haven't had any face-offs for a while for these fight night cards. So went to CM Paragon, bought this. Went to the Nintendo store. I thought I'd buy the Switch because I knew it had been released June 6th. But they said, "Oh, we don't have any. It's not being released here till the 26th of June." So the only reason I'd done this because I figured it would be sold out in Hong Kong if it was even on sale. But then Lewis told me he had got his from Hong Kong. Yes, he bought it in Singapore via Hong Kong, and then I went down to the shop today, got my hands on it, and I've just been playing Mario Kart out there with the missus. Obviously, I won the first Grand Prix, finished third overall. She's now playing it though while I'm in here with all of you, so she's gonna get better than me. So I can't stay too long, don't want to get my ass whipped. But what's up, everyone? Shout out to Keith as well, one of the original members of the channel, just like Lewis. Asking if it's backwards compatible with, yeah, I think it is. I forgot to. I only have like the two controllers as well, but apparently you can link the old controllers up. But I'm gonna buy the new ones because they're quite snazzy and magnetic. Chester's here. What's up, gang? Yeah, a lot to talk about. We should get into it. I should stop talking about the Switch, but I've got to say hi to the members and the fam WhatsApp story of the fight too. I think Story of the Fight gave me their code for the Switch, so I'll be losing to Will on Mario Kart as well. It's pretty fun though. I'm enjoying it. I just got 20 minutes. It took me 2 hours to set up at least. Had to transfer all your data from the other one, which required system updates on both consoles. And I had to dig out my password for the Nintendo account, which of course I don't remember. And then all this other faff and rigmarole. Finally, it took about an hour and a half to download the actual game. Had to use the Hong Kong Nintendo store. I can't speak Cantonese, of course. We got there in the end. All right. Yes, it plays Switch One games. Story of the Fight tells us a lot of them have better performance. That's the last I'll bring up. The Switch. LOL. No, this is a Switch zone. You can bring up the Switch all you like. It's important. Yeah, respect the shirt. Ben Askren. Obviously horrible to hear what is going on with him, and he was just before my time in One. Obviously, I came on when the DJ and him did the big trade, the swap, and so I never saw him fight in One. I never got to be at an event. Obviously knew about him, and I'd covered his success for from remote areas for websites I worked for, including his UFC run. But I did get to interview him once when he went on Apprentice season 1. He very kindly jumped on a live stream I was doing, and I thought, we get like 20 minutes out of him, maybe 15. I think the guy sat there for an hour and did a whole hour, and the only reason he left is because he had to do another show after that. And we were just talking. It was like this, a live thing. People were asking questions. He answered everything. It was COVID times, and he was in a hotel room in Singapore. Couldn't really go anywhere else. So he did have nothing to do, I imagine, but he didn't have to do that. What I'm saying is, Ben Askren, really nice guy, fun character to be around. Incredible fighter in his prime, and yeah, what might have been if he had gone to the UFC, but then won championship wouldn't have had him at that time. So at least they got to see him in his prime, and yeah, I can't imagine how horrible the situation is for those who really know him well. I don't know him that well, but I just want to say, yeah, prayers up to Ben Funky. Ben Askren is the man, and yeah, I hope he can pull through. It's not sounding good, but yeah, let's all get our whatever religion we are, whatever. Let's pray. Let's cross our fingers. Yeah, let's all hope he gets through this. Right. Anonymous can't hear a thing. He's watching. Happy for Naito. Sad for Estupinan. Naito versus Takaru sounds interesting. Yeah, I'll get into that in a sec. Old Man Paya's chat here for Flaming Mo. Yeah, we'll get into it too. Anonymous got some stuff about Ghazali. Ghazali that forced last week wouldn't stand a chance against Freddie Haggerty, Ramadan, Birich, all the others he called out. Look, we'll get into Jojo. Yeah, let's make it official. Let's start the recap before I start going down rabbit holes of comments and things. I do have thoughts on all of that stuff, so let's just get into it though. But yeah, one more time. Hope Ben Askren pulls through. All right, let's jump into this. Necrobe. Oh yeah, I got this. This is a UFC Ben Askren shirt. I hope it's okay, guys. Not staying on brand, but I think this was from his fight in Singapore when he fought Damian Maia, and my old freelancer Matt Scott brought it back for me. And it's funny because it's a size XL, and at the time I was tiny, weedy, thin little thing, and it was like a blanket on me. It was hilarious, and I was like, Matt, oh man, you could have got me a smaller size. It's such a cool shirt. Now I'm like so fat and bursting out of it. How things change. Turns have tabled. Okay, we're gonna do this now. Fighting with friends. What's up? Let's go. With to what? What's up? Let's go. Everyone tuning in from Facebook, how you doing? I will get to Anonymous's 4 points, but I'm gonna dive right in. The Krob Vertex. We'll start, I guess, at the main event. The Krob and Zhao Suyai. Not much to actually talk about. It was 30 seconds or something like that, I think, if that. Wow, I didn't expect that. The Krob had said in the build-up he had challenged Zhao Suyai to meet me in the middle. Let's trade in the center of the ring. Let's stand and bang. Well, I guess he regrets it now. Yes, Zhao Suyai. Oh, that was brutal. I've got a video of it. I'll put it on because I can't even do it justice to describe what I saw. But there was a very early knockdown, and then poor old Nakrob got back up, but it was pretty much over. He was quite wobbly already, and then eventually a head kick KO while he was bent over. Ricky Sewell did a nice diving Muay Thai ref catch. And shout out to Ricky Sewell. This was his first fight night refereeing gig. So he's obviously done Friday fights a lot, but this was the first time that Ricky had been in the ring. He's normally judging on the Saturdays, so I thought he did a great job. But look at this. So, yeah, Jousey guy. There's Ricky very nearly gets the diving catch to the back of the head. The legendary diving catch. But yes, absolutely stellar performance from Jousey guy, who told me afterwards he was nervous. He'd never been more nervous. Here's the initial knockdown. So there wasn't much of this fight. I think it was already over at that point. Look, he cannot even stand. It was incredible. Yeah, he told me he was nervous before the fight. He had a brain fog. He'd never fought in the morning. So obviously he came through Friday fights. He had a ton of fights on there, ton of finishes. But this was his first morning fight. He was very nervous, his debut on fight night or on the main roster. And he was just so happy to get through it. So he did very well. And it's just a huge victory for him that now puts him probably right in that top 5. I think definitely. I just filled in my rankings for the first time in forever, and I put him in. Can't remember where. I think at fourth behind Kong Tourney. So I have Superlek above Rodtang, by the way. Superlek, Rodtang, Nongo, Kong Tourney, and then Jiao Suyai. So shout out to Jiao Suyai. He has an incredible future, still very young. I asked him, yeah, who would you like? You're immediately up there with Kong Tourney, Nongo, Rodtang, Superlek. He said, well, I'd like to have some 2 or 3 other fights to kind of find my feet first in the division before I challenge those top names. So that does open him up to the likes of, I don't know if you want to, I did suggest maybe Taiki Naito if Taiki wants to do Muay Thai. There's Estupinan, Ghazali, there's a ton of flyweights, flyweights. There's Jacob Smiths of the world, the Elias Mahmoudis. He's already beaten Dennis Puric, of course, and I think a lot of people were knocking Dennis after that, but it doesn't look so bad now, does it? Yeah, a lot of people were calling him washed and this and that, but Jiao Suyai is just that damn good. But yes, give me your thoughts on Jiao Suyai. Jiao Suyai is a marauder, story of the fight says. Anonymous is going to watch it back later. So I will try and get to your comments, Anonymous. So you go back to class, take care of business there. Studying is good. Don't know what you're studying for. Enjoy it. Let us know. The pause before the final head kick was so sick. It's like he made all the calculations to land it perfect. Yeah, very cold, calculated finish. Sorry, there. Bit dusty because I haven't played the Nintendo Switch, the first one, for a while. More Switch chat, sorry. And the smaller, older one had a bit of dust on it. Switching wires around things, yeah. Anyway, back to the good stuff. Chris Cushman says that head kick was nasty. It was very nasty. Earned him $50,000 from Chatri. I think it was the only bonus of the morning, which is becoming a trend now. Chatri saving the bonus pretty much for the main event. It's a dangerous game to play because if you have a boring main event which goes to a decision and you give the winner the bonus, but you have some killer crazy knockouts on the earlier card, it's going to cause a lot of chatter, negative chatter. So, but you got lucky there. Jiao Suyai definitely, if there was one bonus to give out for that card, Jiao Suyai deserved it. Also, Mitch shouting the bonus to his kid with a high five was great stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't see that, to be honest. I ran to the back to so Wi-Fi in Lumpini is dog shit, and they have a very nice little media room backstage with really nice Wi-Fi actually, but in the stadium itself, terrible. So I kind of hopped there while everyone was watching the bonus stuff. I ran to the back, uploaded because I wanted to get that video out. I knew it'd blow up, and it did. I think my video, went a little bit viral on the socials, so it was worth it. Worth missing this wholesome moment with Mitch and his kid. Sorry, but it sounds like it was good. Why happenings for JoJo, bro? Says Mikhail. I don't know what you mean, but we will get into JoJo and all that stuff. Shout out to Noidino. You gotta go check out his restaurant, his noodle shop. If you're in Bangkok, if you're out near Lumpini in Pathum Thani, check out the socials. We went down, all the guys, me, One Lumpini FC, Moy Man Meme, PEI, all the dudes. I can't remember everyone who was there. It was like 10 of us. We were all having a great time. All the Thai media guys. Yeah, it was so fun. And I'll be going back. I want to go back. I had the chicken noodles. Is very good. I didn't try the tom yum. I want to go back and do that. And Noidino is a very nice, gracious host. You may recognize him as the face of the Thai coverage of One on Channel 7. He's right there. You can see it in his screen pick. But check him out on Facebook too. He's a fun character. Alive Bread wants Jabir Jabrilov to get some recognition. I will give him his flowers. I'm going back to my preview though. So here we go. Right. Things to say about Jiao Suyai. I think I've already covered it. If you have any other thoughts, there's not much else to say. It's not really like much you can talk about. He did call out Ryusei after I've kind of engineered this thing. When I interviewed Ryusei after his fight, I think he was the first fight on 172 in Japan. And I interviewed Ryusei and I said, "What would you like to do next?" Something, and he called out Jiaosuyai for a kickboxing fight. Jiaosuyai obliged on social when I put it there, and this is before Jiaosuyai fought Dennis Poirier, I think, though. So a lot's changed for him since then. He's beaten Poirier, he got a contract, and he's knocked out in the crop. But he says he wants this kickboxing fight with Jiaosuyai. So looks like he's in no rush to take on the big heavyweight guns in I shouldn't say heavyweight, the big flyweight guns, top of the division, the Sharks. So yeah, if they want to do that match, I'm down to see it. Nakrob, a shame, he's now lost a couple of high profile fights there, but he's still a warrior. He'll be back. I saw Stamp, she was there to cheer him on. Met her fiance for the first time, Anthony, lovely chap. But yeah, Stamp, she was in obviously sad for her teammate, but in good spirits. But yeah, not too much else to say. It's not one of those main events you'll that had too much on the line. It wasn't a title fight. I've already explained my feelings on that, and it's a shame. I do wish this would have been a lovely co-main. I think to have a title fight above it, the original Alicia Shear Cohen fight. But anyway, what's done is done. I think overall the card over-delivered. I had quite low expectations for it, but it over-delivered. There was some great, that was a great finish, and it had some big shocks on it, which we will get into now. Some cool knockouts and things. So, hello, Watan, Nakviraj, sorry. Mikhail is sad because JoJo lost. I hope JoJo comes back for a new version. We will get into JoJo. I got my thoughts on JoJo. Let's start with the co-main event. Alif Sword Deshapan beat Elmedi El Jamari by unanimous decision. Some people were questioning this decision. I don't know. I don't think it was bogus or anything, but let me know what you think. If you thought it was the wrong call. I haven't seen the scorecards, but I'm going to bring it up here. But yes, it was. I thought Alif was a deserving winner. Elmedi is a tough guy. He's a crazy dude. He put his heart and soul into it. I think he came up short. I got the scorecards here. Okay. I haven't actually seen this one. I saw the Taiki Estupiñán one, which was also a bit all over the place. We'll discuss that. But here it is. I'm going to put it on screen for you guys because I love you. Let's find it here. Still need my producer. Okay. So I'm new to this. I haven't seen the scorecards, but again, they were a little bit different. Okay, we had two 30-27s from Richard, who I hadn't seen. Richard, I think he's a new judge because, like I said earlier, Ricky was reffing. So Abby and Richard had 30-27s, and judge number one, Shane Byrne, had it 29-28. So yeah, not too crazy. I think the right call was made. Elmedi and his team were despondent. They believed they won. I think this is the right score. I think, yeah, Elmedi turned it up a bit in the final round, but Alif did enough first two rounds. I would agreed with Shane's score. Let me know what you think in the chat. Story to Fight says there were some great fights on this card, over-delivered for sure. Yeah, I agree. So let me share. I don't have much else to say about the fight. Alif did what he had to do. But now the real talking point from that is not Jiaosuyai, but it is this face-off. Yes, so Prajanchai got into the ring afterwards, and they had a very respectful TM face-off. Mitch tried his best to hype it up, but they were just being very nice to each other. I'll read out what they said. But as you can see, story of the fight here said, "By God," in the JR voice. That is John DeBella's music. For real, he needs to be next. Come on. So Yeah, that's what I'm gonna get to now. I put this up on the page today. John DiBella wasn't happy when he saw that. Obviously, he said, "I guess Prajanchai doesn't want the rematch to happen." So this was amid a retweet spree that John went on after the fight, where I think everyone was saying, essentially, this is some bullshit. Yeah, that Prajanchai is gonna defend his Muay Thai belt first against Alif, and I gave my take. I said, "Look, Alif, I love him. I think he's well deserving of the next shot. He has been for a while, but when you have an interim champion, one of your two divisions, you have to deal with them first. You got to take care of business." And obviously, John agreed with that. A lot of other people agreed, and John was retweeting all the messages. So sentiment online, at least in the Western world on Twitter, seems to be, yeah, that Prajanchai should fight John. But a lot of Thai fans in the stadium loved this face-off, and there was a lot of action on the socials. People were loving that face-off, yeah. So, but here's what they said: Prajanchai embraced Alif and said, "First of all, I would like to say congratulations to Alif, and I'm sending support to El Jamari. If this match is going to happen, it would be my honor." Which Alif also said, "It would be an honor to face Prajanchai. I really have nothing much to say because I know how good he is. If I get that chance to get that belt from him, this is my new goal, and I will train harder." So they were very nice to each other. But yes, as Bangkok Post revealed, sources told me in the build-up to the event, this became a title eliminator, basically. So whoever won was going to get a shot. So they were planning to have Prajanchai get in the ring, do the face-off. But yeah, John DiBella not happy at all. What do you all think? In the chat, let me know. Wittawat says DiBella versus Prajanchai would be an epic fight in a neutral stadium. Yeah, so I don't know if it's, yeah, if we have to wait for it because Japan is later in the year, then I understand, because I don't think doing it in Lumpini really works. But I think John would fight him in Lumpini. John just wants to get that belt. He's got the interim belt now, and he doesn't want to wait 6 months to get this fight. Keith says, on the positive side, I think Alif versus JDB would be great. Now, there's a small chance that it could happen. Yeah, but I was thinking about this, but also I remember Alif getting his ass kicked by Jang Mian, who DiBella beat and Samay beat already. So kickboxing wise, I'm not sure Alif kind of has earned a shot. He'd at least need to get one kickboxing win first, and I'm not sure if he can be bothered. He should stay in Muay Thai, but if DiBella needs opponents down the line, if he does beat Prajanchai and unifies the titles, Alif is probably a likely opponent for him, because there's not many guys knocking around in strawweight kickboxing. A few more in Muay Thai nowadays. Story to fight. Yeah, I don't think anyone is saying Alif doesn't deserve a shot. It's just not the time while JDB is there in kickboxing. 100%. Alif has done kickboxing. Yeah, but he got destroyed by Zhang. That's all I'm saying. I can't remember if he had any other fights kickboxing. Wouldn't say he got destroyed, but he got schooled. Yeah. Zhang looked very good in that fight. Maybe he'd do better next time. Official Lewis offering his services for Singapore, I think, indoor stadium for a neutral venue. Why not? No, I think this fight is probably going to happen next month. I'm hearing things already. Possibly it could be, very soon, 1 or 2 months. And then I think he would fight DiBella if Prajanchai win or lose, I guess. Yeah, they're going to do I would imagine they do the unification fight whenever that Japan show is. So possibly the late 2025, maybe November. But no confirmation on when that show is. One Lumpini 114 main event, Kuladam versus Lobo, says Widowat. Yeah, we'll get into that tentpole and all those amazing matches. Is Zhang still in one? Live Bread asks, he hasn't been fighting. He is still in one. I think he has a match. I can't remember. Yeah, sorry, Keith. Didn't mean to double down on it. I can't remember if he had any other kickboxing fights. Story of the fight says, if you make an interim belt because the champ is going for the Muay Thai belt, then you should strip that champ if he's going to defend the new belt. Yeah, I think it's been a year now since Prajanchai won that belt. It's coming up in a week or two or three. And yeah, I just think if you don't defend a belt within a year, you should either create an interim or be stripped if there already is an interim. Maybe we could push that to 18 months if we're being really generous. I just think 1 year, then you're not serious about it. You're holding up the division just so you can have two belts and make more money and look cool in pictures. And I'm not picking on Prajanchai here. There's plenty of double champs in one who are guilty of this. I think if you have the belt, you've got to defend it. You know, DiBella would defend it. He wasn't afraid to give Prajanchai a shot. You know, he fought whoever wanted it. He just wants to fight. He's a real champion. I'm not knocking Prajanchai. I don't know if he's offered to fight John or if he hasn't been offered to fight by them. He can't control what fights he gets. If they say you're fighting a leave, he gotta go and do it. It's not up to him. I'm just saying this fight should have been booked next. And then you can do this Alif Prajanchai fight later in the year. That makes more sense. But we'll see how it plays out. With the what? Can't wait for one Lumpini. 114 is probably the big superstars show up, but the intensity of each fight is very high. Yes, it's a great card. I will get into it. More doesn't blame Prajanchai. It's on one trying to make everyone a double champ. Very predictable outcome to the whole stadium. Story of the fight says going for the second belt is worth making interim, then defending it should escalate things, in my opinion. And yeah, I have nothing against Prajanchai. I like the guy. He's a great fighter. Yeah, I think he's top 5 pound for pound in one across all the sports and divisions. Yeah, they need to do this fight with John. Anyways, I've talked about that a lot, so we will move on. I want to get back to Mario Kart. I do, but I'll be here for an hour. I think I can try and keep it to 1 hour. That'll be good. So Jojo and Diego, split decision here. Wow. So this is probably the biggest buzz coming out of the show just because of everything attached to Johan Ghazali, who obviously 18-year-old Malaysian, big superstar in his home country. They are very, very interested in him back there. Anything you do with Jojo blows up. You know, the pre-fight interview I had with him and Diego was going bonkers on YouTube, and yeah, his weigh-ins and everything. So let's look at the scorecard first. Then I'll give my thoughts on it. But here is the scorecard. Or is it? No, I've got the wrong one up. I've still got a leaf up, so I'll put that down. And then we will go to Stupid Ann. That's the wrong one, isn't it? That's the wrong Johan. Ghazali and Diego Paez. Right. So I think Shane Byrne told me he was the split here. So he was the one who went for Jojo. Yes, he was 29-28. It was a very, very close fight. Again, Richard and Abby both had 29-28 for Diego, and they had Diego winning the final round, whereas Shane had Jojo winning the final round. So I think they were all identical. Yeah, they were through. Oh no, they weren't. Yeah, talking shit. You can see the scores were pretty tough here. It's hard to do that fight. It was hard to call. I don't blame them. 2 of them went for Diego in the first round. Abby went for Jojo. It's hard to call. I was watching it and I didn't think there's a very clear winner that's jumped out to me when Dom said judge number one. I was like, okay, this is a split. I think Diego's got it because it's always some drama. Lo and behold, Diego got the split, and he was very happy. And then here's when everything blew up. So I'll show you we'll go onto my Instagram now. Okay. So I'll show you the immediate reaction when the result was read out. If I can find it. There it is. Right. So Jojo couldn't believe it. There's Dom reading the scores. And Jojo is asking the crowd to cheer more. And it goes to Diego, and Jojo is distraught. He can't believe it. Diego can't believe it either. He's pounding the mat in joy, and they had a little bit of nice words. Tyler Wombles comes in the ring. He's pretty happy. Classic fight team squad. These were Diego's brothers, I think. Yeah, Jojo back to his corner with Superbon, Nongo, and I saw Superbon coming back a few minutes later, and Nongo was carrying Jojo. Jojo's legs were banged up, and he got poked in the eye. He couldn't really see. Accidental eye poke. But then, so I spoke to Diego. We had an interview here. Don't know if you can hear it.
He's a star boy, and they invested a lot in promoting him this fight, but I hope I earned some respect.
Yeah, I just saw Johan out there. He seems a bit down. Did you speak to him at the end briefly there?
Yes, I did. I did. I didn't have much to say for him. I was enjoying my moment. But like I said earlier, he's a respectable opponent, He's got a big future ahead. I knew in this fight, I'm sorry, but I don't have room to lose. He has room to lose. And so I had to go out there and win my fight. But all best to him. I hope he goes back. He gets his training in. He's got a good team behind him. He's got a bright future ahead of him, too.
You think he took his eye off you a little bit? Don't want to be too harsh on him, but do you think maybe he overlooked you?
Absolutely. I did think that for sure. I know he fights with a lot of ego, and I saw right through that. I can read people kind of like an empath, and I saw that he looked right past me, and he was already focused on what's to come after. But that's why I told you guys in the pre-interview I'm focused on the present moment, and now we can see what the future holds in store for me. I know the organization.
So yeah, there it is. I hope you could all hear that. Please tell me if you couldn't. Combat Sports Today, what's up? Another one of the members in the house. Good to see you. So, yeah, Diego, if you didn't hear that, here's a written form of it. Basically, the juicy bit saying, I know he fights with a lot of ego. I saw right through that. He looked right past me and was already focused on what was to come after. I know the organization loves him. He's a star boy. They invested a lot in promoting him for this fight, but I hope I earn some respect. Well, it blew up. Oh, God. Every time I look back, there's like 1,000 more likes on it. And a lot of Malaysian fans in the chat. You can see the comments, It was going wild in there. Some people agree with Diego. Others were dissing Diego for missing weight and saying, how can you ask for respect when you can't even make weight? Yeah, I'm not going to weigh in on that. But, a lot of Malaysian fans not happy. But there were a lot of Malaysian fans who also seemingly turned on Jojo because I'll show you Jojo's post in a bit, but he got very upset on Instagram and said some things too. Maybe we can show it now. Because he basically started saying how you fans all suck. No, I'm going to translate it. So this isn't exact words. He says, to my haters from Malaysia, because of you, our country cannot reach the next level. Don't expect to make me tear up with your baha lol comments. I'm ashamed of my own trash mentality. I am 18 years old and sacrificed my life in the ring to raise the name of the country. This morning I woke up with pain in my legs and couldn't walk, and I had a headache. Even my own money came out to make sure my preparation is tip-top. But for what? My grandfather risked his own life for the country. My father served as a police officer for 25 years for the country. My siblings are all Malaysian representatives at the highest level. But for what? The time I'm near the top is not a joke. The time I fall, the true character of our people is revealed. You all say what you want to say. I'm just showing off. I'm after glamour or whatever, but you guys don't forget, because I'm the one who pursues glamour. Even the unglamorous can become glamorous. This translation may not be the best, sorry. From now on, I'm only interested in myself and the people who really support me. Change your mentality. Malaysia can, but the people are jealous. Do you think I'm going to tear up with what you're talking about? Our mentality is different. That's why I'm the one fighting. You're just an audience. Thank you all. So he went off on Malaysia as a whole. He's young. You got to remember he's like 18 years old. So emotional, I'm sure. And it's hard to have that pressure on your shoulders. I know the whole country seemingly wants him to win, and then they then turn on him when he loses. Can't be a nice feeling. I think, yeah, it's got to be tough to handle at his age. I don't begrudge him that at all. Yeah, I wouldn't have posted this though. I probably would have turned my phone off for a few days and just laid low and then thought about it. But because in the heat of the moment, we can all text things, say things, write things that are just, not what we want to say a bit later. But if he does feel like the people have gone too far, I know he didn't have to take this fight. His opponent missed weight, but Jojo did it for them. So props to him for that. But I think, we're going back to what Diego was talking about, how Jojo was being a bit ahead of himself. I think he may have been referring to the interview I did with him. I don't know if he was saying it to other people, but anyone else you're keen on fighting in this division?
Old man Dennis Purich.
Old man Dennis Purich.
I've always had something against him, because I remember what he said. I think a few fights ago, he said I'm too young, or I can't fight him, or whatever. All that bullshit, just come fight me, get it over with, and go retire and have fun. So I'm coming for Dennis Purich.
Okay, well, the Bosnian Menace. We'll see what he says about that. I would love to see that one too.
Send him to retirement. Let's go, old man. Let's go.
Anyone else you're keen on? Said he would send Dennis Purich to retirement. Let's go, old man. Yeah. So I know that didn't go down well with. I think Liam Harrison was tweeting about it as well. How it was disrespectful, and that on that performance, Purich would beat him. I think Liam said, or someone said. And he also was talking about he wants that rematch with this stupid nine. And I mean, look, I asked him the questions, he answered. So I was happy for him to answer that. A lot of the times fighters say, I'm just focused on this fight, and yada yada. And that's fine. So I don't think he should be blamed for looking past Diego Paez too, because I'm sure he was deadly focused on this fight. And he's the type of guy who will talk and say his piece in the media, and he knows how to work the cameras. So I don't think he was not focused on Diego. I just think he got the strategy wrong, the game plan wrong, and there's been some chat in the group, right, the Discord with the boys here, whether Jojo would be better off not at Super One training camp, because I think it was Tetsuya was pointing out, those guys are very kick heavy. Obviously, Tetsuno and Super Bon and Longo all love the kick a lot, and I don't think that's Jojo's strength either. I think, as the boys in the group were saying, maybe he'd be better off at Venom training camp with Mehdi Zatur, and I think definitely that would play more to his strengths. And also I think Mehdi would rein him in a little bit if he needs reining in. I'm just, some people are saying, if he's being too arrogant, is his ego out of control? If you want someone to take care of that, Mehdi will bring you right down to earth in about 5 minutes. He's had a few characters in his gym who he's brought in line, and he makes it part of a team. No one's bigger than anyone else. He's very quick to correct any bad behavior or things that might upset other fighters. So I really think that would be a good move for Jojo. if he's serious. I know it's a great gym, Superbond, and those boys are awesome, and I just don't know if it's the right vibe. It's more of a kind of Phuket style gym, I think a mixture of like tourists and fighters, which is really fun. But I think maybe Venom's the same, to be honest. But I feel he might be able to dial in a bit more if he's away from Bangkok, perhaps in Pattaya, with surrounded by guys like Nabil, PTT, who we have news on today, Sinsamud, Diakayev, all those monsters Mehdi has in ONE, champions, killers. I think, being around them might help Jojo kind of unleash a new level inside him. He needs to go back to what got him to the dance. But anyway, let me see what the comments are saying. I haven't been to the comments for a while. Paya's cardio was next level in the fight. It's the story of the fight. Dude was chaining combos late into the fight. Yeah, he looked a lot better than the debut. Official Lewis asking what's next for Jojo. Well, we can hear it. That's good news. What's next for him? I'll come back to that one. Just gonna get through these comments. Gotta love Diego's mindset, so down to earth and humble. Says Lango Malala Francine Andrea. I agree. Feel for Jojo. Huge spotlight at a very young age. He has huge highs, but probably very low lows. Story says. Tetsuya wants to see Jojo at Venom, yes. Or Deshapan, another good idea. Those guys don't mess around either. You saw Jiao Suyai and Ali, what they did later on the card. No need for that kind of disrespect to Porridge, Fleming Mo says. And based on Ghazali's losses, he'd be a fool to underestimate him. Yeah, well, Jojo's lost 3 out of 5 now since coming up to Johannes Stupinan as well and Nguyen Chandoy Nat. So, yeah, his only wins on the main roster are, you might say, favorable matchups to Edgar Tabarez, the GOAT, the legend himself, and Josue Cruz. So he seems to like the South American flair, or Middle America. Are they both from Mexico? I can't remember. Looking it up. Josue Cruz won championship. Yeah, I think so. Beating the 2 Mexican guys, but he's lost to a Colombian, so doesn't like the South American flair, definitely. Yeah, he's not all clicking for Jojo. I think he's been with Superbomb for the last 2 fights. I don't know if he was with him for the Cruz fight in Denver, but no, I don't think he was. Doesn't seem to have improved him much. I thought he looked better against Estupinan than he did previously. Like he'd upped his game, but just didn't look fantastic here. Maybe he's better suited for the evening. He was in the evening in Denver and against Estupinan. Morning fights can be tough. Especially, I've said this before, especially when you live in Asia, you kind of, you're worse off sometimes because the Americans coming over might just be able to stay on American time. Like Paya's from Cali, I think he just could have not have to adjust at all. But Jojo would probably have been waking up normal time until very recently, and then maybe I'm not saying this was the main reason he lost, but it can be a little tough for Asian fighters, I think, to adapt to a morning fight more than the Americans. Anyway, yes, Tetsuya makes a good point. Most fighters at Venom are Muslims, so they can definitely connect with Jojo. Any words from Ham Sohee? No, I haven't seen Vegan. I know you're a big fan. Nothing from Ham. Hello, Akrapal, AKP. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, Jojo, I think someone else asked what's next for him. Official Lewis. I don't know. I think, do you go back to just feeding him another easy matchup? Or I think this was meant to be a layup for him, to be honest. I felt like they were giving him a favorable matchup here. I think they thought he would smash through Cruz, and then he's back on track. And yeah, maybe you can run the stupid thing back, or you can do some of the other fights. But he's super young. I think don't rush with him. Just go back to the drawing board. Yeah, he maybe could have used a little more time cooking on Friday fights, if I'm being honest. I think he came up pretty quickly from that. After 3 fights, he was still, I think he done just turned 17. Maybe he was still 16. I think he was 17 when he made the debut, but I saw him. Yeah, I was there when he got the contract, I think. But yeah, maybe he could have spent another couple years down there, really fine-tuning things. But I think they knew the star power, and they wanted to bring him up quickly. We'll see what's next for him. Yeah, it's nothing. It's not nothing obvious, Jojo made the same mistakes in every fight. Flaming Mo says he just moves straight forward and back. He's too predictable coming forward and easy to hit. The usual layup is to bring Zachariah El Jamari up from strawweight. Poor Zachariah. Yeah, I can see that one happening. Jojo's technique easily gets countered by the enemy. Al Nasreem 27 says, I want to see Jojo versus Tanzin. Tetsuya says, that's a good idea. Yeah, good idea. Tanzin's coming off a couple losses now. Both of them are. So, good idea, Tetsuya. You should be a matchmaker. Great idea. Well, yeah, that's all I have on Jojo, I guess. That is a violent fight. So I'll have to move on because it's going to be a long show otherwise. It probably will be. Okay, back to the ONE website. the other Johan, Estupinan against Taiki Naito. Wow, another shock this one was. So yeah, let's do it. Let's get into it. It was a majority decision, which means there was two. Well, I'll show you the scorecards now to explain it. I always have to rack my brain when I hear majority decision and remember what it means. It's basically two judges went for Naito, and then the other was a draw. But I'll show you here. So Richard Wayne gave the draw 28-28. Obviously, they all had 10-8s for that second round knockdown. But Richard Wayne believed that Estupinan won the other 2 rounds, which I personally disagree with. I thought Naito definitely won the 3rd round and should have had a 10-8 because he knocked him down right at the end there. I'll show the video. So, yeah, I definitely... Abby and Richard... But it was very hard to see. It was right in the corner, and it was the final seconds, and Ricky didn't signal it. I didn't know Ricky saw it. So I'm not blaming the judges for not seeing that, just to be clear. But yeah. Then you got Shane's card, which is crazy. He's got every round for Naito and a 10-8 there. I would probably tend to agree with Shane's assessment. I think Abby's is also fine, yeah. But I'm not sure if it's stupid. He definitely chased it back in the 3rd round. But just seeing that knockdown, I think right at the end, I would not have given a stupid on the 3rd round. But let me know what you guys thought. I will show my little clip from Instagram that I put up. Here it is. So, where is it? Yeah, so here's the first knockdown right in the corner. Beautiful counterpunch from Naito. Ricky sends him to the corner. Estupinan, to his credit, Estupinan always bounces straight back up when he gets knocked down. He doesn't feel the pain, I don't think, and you don't see him wobbling. He's just straight back into it. This is right at the end of the 3rd. That's a knockdown, I think. I've zoomed in, I've slowed it down. He basically falls in. I don't know what JC Fernandez was doing, celebrating and picking Johan up. He arguably lost every round. Yeah, I know you got to support your man. And I love those guys a lot. But I think this was a clinical performance from Taiki. real veterans display, and a great learning curve, learning a lesson for Estupiñán to go away. He didn't have any damage on him. He had Atkin had more damage on the face, and his arm was busted up. But there it is, the name of the game, and knockdowns. That's gonna override everything. There's one, and arguably, I'm gonna say again, watch this one. I think there's a second right at the end. I'll put the volume on. You can hear it now. Yeah. I don't know how to slow it down, but you can go check out the clips wherever you want to see it. I think that's a knockdown. So 2 knockdowns. Yeah, I think the scores could have been even worse. Really.
The judges have declared the winner of this contest.
The right decision was reached. And the right winner was announced. Thank you, Martin. Good win for him. He was coming off 2 losses himself, and yeah, he told me in the interview after, I felt like my career was on the line here, something like that. I can't remember exactly what he said. This was a huge test for him. It was win or bust, He had to do it. He was coming off the Mahmoudi loss, and I can't remember the one before that. But he fights the toughest guys. He's fought Superlek as well. His record's not great, but he always fights the biggest names, and he wins fights too. And then, yeah, well, he shot his shot. Is that a phrase? Shot your shot? Shooted his shot. He called out Tekeru. That's what I should have said. He basically made a big impression, I think. I'll show you the interview. Here it is. We'll come back to the written form, but here it is. I don't know if the sound's playing on that. Can't seem to hear it. But basically, let's just go to the written form. It says in ONE's rankings, number 2 is Tekeru, and I'm next. So I would love to fight him. I think he's a little bit overrated. I want to have a fight where it's overrated versus underrated. I want to switch that. I'm confident this fight will entertain the whole of Japan. Thank you to my guy, GN, for translating. His page is there. Go give him a follow. But yes, basically called Tekeru overrated, and said, because I said, I think you're one of the most underrated fighters in ONE Championship, and he agreed. He said, I want to go fight Tekeru in Tokyo. I think that fight would be awesome, maybe in Bangkok, though. I don't think they would put these two together for Japan. You need a sexier fight to sell Tekeru. But I think, yeah, if Tekeru needs something to do between now and the Japan show, he wants to try and get a win. This is perfect fight, perfect matchup, because, yeah, it's right. He should beat Naito on paper. If he doesn't, then he's in real trouble. But he should, and Naito will be a respectable name for him to beat. Someone who's just beaten a big rising star and has a record of fighting the top names, winning some, losing some. Because you don't want to give Tekeru like a complete layup to smash. It just probably won't look good. But you do want him to get the confidence back, but it needs to be a challenge. I think this is a really perfect match, and I hadn't even thought about it. So shout out to Taiki for calling his shot, shooting the shot, whatever you want to call it. Some other quotes. Yeah, please go to BangkokPost.com. Read my articles as well if you like that stuff. So he said some things about the Estupiñán fight. He also felt he got the 2 knockdowns. He admitted that Estupiñán had the more of an attacking attitude, but I was the one who controlled the fight and gave more damage, so I believe I won. Marked an important bounce back for Naito. Someone needs to separate those 2 paragraphs. Sub-editors on Bangkok Post. Marked an important bounce back for Naito, who came in off 2 losses. Yes. Estupiñán was unbeaten before in ONE. Also, no, he never lost. It was like my future was being tested with this fight. I'm so happy I could win. Yeah, we talked about Jiao Suyai, possibly if he stays in Muay Thai, and Nongo. He'd like the Nongo fight because he was there, and I had to rack my brain for this one. Hiroaki Suzuki, yes, fighting Nongo. I think it was May 2019 in Singapore, title fight. That's Naito's current coach. So Naito was in the corner for that fight. Yeah, a bit of history there, a bit of trivia for you. So that would be fun too, storyline as well. But I think Nongo is going to get the Rodtang fight. But, I think Naito, I don't think he'll break into the top 5, but that's a pretty nice win. If there was a top 10, he'd be well up there now. So hopefully people put some respect on his name now. I think he really deserves it. He is much better than people give him credit for. Yeah. He fought Mahmoudi, only lost to spinning back fists, knockdowns. The second one was a knockout. Yeah, crazy. And Mahmoudi's a badass too. So I'll see what the comments say. Right. Where are we going? Going back up. Naito looks so good. Man, says Story of the Fight. Excellent counter striking. Ernesto. Oh, I'll come back to you, Ernesto. I need to focus on this fight. Fleming Mo says people were shocked, but Naito is serious, and Estupino is also still green. Look at Naito's losses, and you see he's no mug. Yeah, I do want to look at his losses actually. I know he's lost to Superlek. He's lost to Mahmoudi, the Silent Sniper. Here's his record quickly. So beaten Johan Estupino now, lost to Mahmoudi, and he's also lost to Deadwang like twice. That's a tough fight too. Yeah, he's lost to Kong Torani as well. Lost to Superlek. Lost to Jonathan Haggerty. He's beaten Sabas Michael. Beaten Rui Botello. These are good wins. Beaten Pet Dam. Yeah, some very nice wins there for him. So happy for Taiki. He's a good lad as well. Enjoyed the chat. Yes, serious fighter. Okay. As Fleming Mo says, yes. What's going on with Smiller, Ernesto? I'll come back to Ernesto's stuff again. Yeah. Sean James gave Naito rounds 1 and 3. I thought he did more visible damage as well as showed more aggression in the fight. Or is that the Stupian you gave the rounds to? Might be a Stupian. Because Naito did have some more damage on his face and his arm was busted up. But, I think knockdowns generally override that unless Estupinan did some crazy damage to Naito, without knocking him down. I don't think he did. Estupinan, nice, would have done well to feint more. He's very unpredictable in regards to what he's going to throw. This is from Story of the Fight. But he was predictable in that he was committing almost every time. Agreed. Needs to mix it up a little bit. From that angle, I can see a knockdown, but on Prime, it didn't look like a knockdown. Yeah. It's tough to see. I don't know what you had on the broadcast, yeah. And I was privileged to sort of be right there in front of it. And yeah, I did zoom in and look at it again. I showed the judges after, and I think, yeah, they said maybe they would have scored that if they seen it, but I don't think they saw it. It was like the final second as well. That allows Naito to counter more effectively because there's no guesswork. Yes, he knows what's coming, and he did it to perfection. If I recall correctly, Stupinan got knocked down almost every card in one. He does get knocked down. He bounces straight back up, though. That's the thing, and then he usually goes and knocks the other guy out. But he needs to. I love the kids, the twins. I think, yeah, go away, tighten up his defense work a bit. Let this be a lesson. He needs to work on some things, but still hugely bright future superstar. They love him there. He does get dropped often, but his recovery's top tier. Yeah, Story of the Fight. Agree. It's a fun fight style too, because a fun fight style-wise too. Sorry, this is Takeru and Naito, because Takeru comes forward, ultra aggressive, and Naito fights very well off his back foot. Book it. I agree. Chayanong says, I think Elias or Deadwang Lak replaced more than Tagir number 5 rank in his kickboxing 0-1 because both win Naito. Yeah. Chummy Boy was late driving. It's all good. Join in now. Dickus says many people claim the MMA market is slowing down. I'll have to come back to this, Dickus. I gotta go through my recap. But yes, I will. I think leave it there for Taiki and Takaru. We'll see what comes of that. But yeah, it seems to be causing some buzz. So back to the recap. I'm not gonna do every fight because we'll be here all night. But yeah, Ibrahim Dawev beat Magomed Akayev, split decision. It wasn't a great fight, to be honest. Yeah, and Dawev missed weight again, even though it was featherweight. He still couldn't make hydration. In 5 attempts, he failed last time, and then that was bantamweight against Jeremy Pakatu. Pakatu declined the catch weight. Magomed Akayev took the catch weight this time after Dawev failed 3 hydration tests. So this guy really doesn't know how to pass hydration. He should really find someone who can help him do that. I know a guy. Better call Pete. But I won't talk much more about that fight. Ariane Esparza. I can show the clip quickly. It was a nice win for him. I think everyone was expecting Ricardo Bravo to win that one, but yeah, knockdown in the second round, I think it was, proved to be pivotal. Here it is. Yeah. So Ricardo broke his hand in the second round or somewhere along the line. So, having just come back from a long layoff for an injury, I think, to the hand. Yeah. What did he say? He posted. Very sad for him, but yeah, here it is. So, multilingual man, Japanese, I think that's Portuguese, is it? And some English here. I lost my fight yesterday. I want to sincerely apologize to everyone who supports me, especially my fans and sponsors. I'm embarrassed by the performance I gave. Truly frustrated I couldn't deliver my best. After 10 months away from the ring, recovering from an injury, I came back with everything, but unfortunately my hand broke again in the second round. No excuses. This hurts, but it's also part of the journey. Now begins a new battle, maybe the hardest one, the mental fight. I'll recover my hand, rebuild my confidence, get back to my level, work harder than ever to make sure this never happens again. Yes, tough one for Ricardo. Maybe, yeah, should keep him in the kickboxing gloves, I think, if the hand keeps breaking. So, yeah, it's a shame. But Ariane Esparza, shout out to him. Good win for him. He's looked good. He didn't look like out of place against Nantachai. I thought he did really well, given the circumstances. Another short notice fight here. He did really well again. Shout out to him. He's like grabbing this opportunity with both hands. Anyway, that was a good MMA bout, says Sean. I did not like it. Maybe I'm wrong. Seeing a Stupinan lose was horrible, says gorillas are cool animals. Yes. Well, I'll move on. But keep the comments coming. And what's next? Okay, it is Nicholas Vina against Jabir Jabrailov. So, yeah, I thought Jabir would blow through him, and he did. First round finish again, a little bit longer than usual. I think he's finished both of his fights on Friday fights within a minute. This one went nearly 2 minutes, I think. I'm not sure. Wasn't that longer, much longer. I do have the screen here. Screen video on screen. There it is. Jabir Jabrailov. This guy's a monster. 20 years old. Yeah, look at this. Just a beast. Vina was almost in trouble from the start of the fight. Jabir just ran out when it started. Very good potential. 20 years old, undefeated, 6-9. We'll see what the future holds. He called out Tetsuka afterwards. I think he could become a decent player for them. But he says he's going to move up to welterweight. He struggled to make weight. He missed weight. There were 2 hydration fails, 1 weight miss. The weight miss was him. He was very impressive, though. And I remember I saw him in the lobby after the weigh-ins, shook his hand, said, sorry about that, mate. He said, don't worry, tomorrow, smash time. And it was smash time, indeed. Big smash time. By the way, is he Russian or Turkish? Alive Red asks. His looks and name feels like those Russian dudes in UFC. Well, he lists Turkey as his nationality, but it does seem very Russian. I don't know. Maybe there's some who have both in them. It's similar to Halil Amir, I think, Turkish representative. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but he's a cool dude. I'm sure we'll see more of him in the future. And then Tagir Khalilov with a decision over the debutante Liao Shizu. Catchweight bout. It was a unanimous decision. I didn't put anything up on Instagram, it seems, but it was a fun fight. It was enjoyable. I thought Liao did really well, given it's his debut. He took it to Tagir. I thought Tagir did a good job. He must have been nervous. He'd lost a few fights and he'd had some struggles with the weigh-ins, but he brought condition nutrition on board this time, and it all worked out for him. So he's very happy. My interview with him, you can go watch. I'll put the clip up tomorrow. Looked like a new man in there. Impressed by him. It's tough to fight the first fight on the morning as well. Right. So that's that. Notable things from Friday fights. I enjoyed the debut of Misaki. Thought she was fun as well. We did a nice interview. Here she is.
本戦の方
Saying
にも
she's
読んでほし
the
いと
Stamp
思って
Fairtex
ます
from Japan. Yeah, she
Lots of
says a
people
lot of
told me
fans
that
are
I look like Stamp
calling
Fairtex.
her Stamp
And I
from
would love
Japan.
people to
So they look
recognize me
similar.
as Stamp Fairtex from Japan. And of course,
Yeah.
I would love to be.
And they basically then run into each other in the elevator after at the hotel. You can check out Misaki's story.
本
Maybe I
戦の
can
方に
find
も
it. It's quite funny, I thought. She had a good time though. She was a good laugh. It's already disappeared from her story. I put it on mine. Maybe we can still find it. Sorry, bear with me. There it is. Okay. Yeah, she met Stamp in the elevator at the hotel after, so that's cool. I really like that. I think she's a fun character. She was a deadly, looks crazy in that ring, relentless. All she was missing was the finish, but she promised to come back and get that next time. She thinks she could be a nice addition. She's obviously a shoot box champ over there in Japan. I think she will do nicely in ONE. And also, she wants to fight our friend.
You
here,
said to the
Islay
time media you'd love
Erica
one to show
Bomagao,
more
who,
of small women.
got her first finish in ONE, third victory. Got her first knockout here. Oh, really shot. And got a bonus. She was very happy with that. Crowd loved it. She is hugely popular here in Thailand and in the Philippines. I can understand why. She's, as she says here,
You said to the time media you'd
we're
love
cute. She
one
said
to
earlier
show
on. She wants
more
to
of
have
small women
more
fighting and build division
the
for
smaller
you.
women.
Is that important to
Misaki
you?
and her
Yes.
could happen. I don't know.
I want to show one championship, the whole
definitely
world, fight fans,
two
that smaller
interesting
women
characters, I
can
thought,
be
from the
twice
show.
as much as entertaining as bigger weight divisions as well. We can be exciting, we can be electrifying, and we can bring in views too. And we can be equally as talented as the bigger divisions. And we're cute.
Very entertaining. You said to,
Yeah, she's funny. I like her.
you said to the time media you'd love.
And all the media love her. She knows how to work us. Goddamn. But what else? Michael Baranov, I think his name was. Great knockout on the card. Gonna try and get him on the show on Wednesday. He's a very interesting guy. And there was some other main event. I can't remember. I think Silvio lost. Yeah, I did. Second round. TKO. Yeah, but I didn't watch everything. I was doing those interviews backstage. Let me know what you liked from the card. But God, I'm kind of running out of time. But there's been a lot of news. I'll try and recap it quickly. The main things are the big fights now. They've announced on tent poles. So, where do you begin? Yeah, they've also announced Jarvis versus Ursel for Fight Night 34 main event for the lightweight Muay Thai world title. So Regan finally defending that one again. I think we all knew this fight was going to happen. Gary Tonin is back against Shamil Gasanov, so they're running that one back. Featherweight MMA. Looks like Gary will have to go and earn a title shot again. I'm just glad to see him back. It looked like he was going to leave. Got frustrated that the title shot wasn't his and he wasn't on the Denver card, and he sort of lashed out on social media, got put straight into jail for that one, kicked out of the featherweight rankings, still not been put back in. Has to earn his way back, it seems. Shamil's been on a roll since that loss. I think 3 wins now in a row. He's on the cusp of a title shot. You'd have to say the winner of this will get the winner of Tenkai and Akbar's rematch, whenever that is. And Ben Tynan is back against Kirill Grushenko. This could also be a heavyweight eliminator. You don't know. Depends what's going on with Atkin. But Ben Tynan, yeah, back from his doping ban 1 year, and Kirill off a win over Mauro in Qatar when Mauro's leg broke. Mauro, so really, Kirill has rehabbed himself a little bit since, losing to Bushesha and Malakin back to back. He's now beaten Kangji 1 and Mauro. So see what happens with him. And then what else have they got for us? Fight Night 33. Shadow and Rabba is your main event at the moment. Might need a title fight there again. Kuzmin and Karodi. Isaac Michel, Francisco Lowe. I had no idea this fight was on. Grappling back. Janlo against Shine. Wow. I haven't seen half of these fights. Coming to it quite new. Chihiro against Macarena Aragon in the atomweight division. That's nice. Ilya Freymanov, wow, is back against Pedro Dantas, who I have no idea who that is. I think it's a new fighter, given they don't have a picture on the site. So, some nice things there. I think if they could add a title fight into the mix, that'd be really cool. And I see they haven't put the name on it yet, so don't be surprised, if perhaps old Alif and Prajanchai show up there. Maybe that's too soon. It's in 4 weeks or 5 weeks. Could be a tight turnaround, especially Prajanchai. He struggles to make that weight, even though he's so tiny. He's nearly got stripped of the belt last time out. Anyway, that's that card. And then Friday Fights Temple. This is the real showstopper. They've added a bunch to Felipe Lobo against Kulab Dam. We all knew that already. And Sexan and Mungtai. Now they've added. We knew Pampayak as well. And Nadaka. But here's some more fights they've added since I've been away. Sangatit and Sewer Black. Catchweight Muay Thai. Oh, I didn't even know. I thought that was kickboxing. Wow, interesting. Sewer Black's in trouble there. Sharp Payak against Ramadan Ondash. Kongchai against Kompet. And Yonis Anand versus Liu Junchao. And then tonight, I think they announced PTT will make his debut finally on this show. I can't remember who against. You'll have to fill me in, guys. Something Abdel Ali. Is it the guy who fought Marat? I need to. I have no idea. I can't find it. I'll search on Twitter. I'm sure Tetsuya put it out. Yes, PTT, the Thai striking sensation, makes his highly anticipated one debut against rising star Elias Abdel Ali. Okay, no idea who that is. There we go. Yeah, people have been asking me about this. When's PTT coming? I don't know. There you go. He is coming on Friday Fights 114, June 27th. So the tempo should be pretty stacked if you like your Muay Thai and your Thai stars. It's a pretty good card. I would still say could do with a title fight, but I'm not going to be too choosy. But yeah, those are the big news. That is, of course, yes, Nabil's brother, not PTT. Jonas Anand is Nabil's brother. Some French kickboxer. He's a young lad. Says Flaming Wolf in terms of our. How did they refer to him as a rising star? Elias Abdel Ali. Okay, I have no idea who he is. But yes, Jonas, that is of course Nabil's brother, making his debut in ONE. Percy, glad to see you supporting Funky. Yes, praying for Ben Askren. I hope he pulls through. Said a bit more at the top of the show, but yeah, once again, let's all keep him in our thoughts. The Funky One. This is a ONE championship show, but he was, of course, a welterweight champ in ONE, dominant, retired with the belt there. No one could beat him. No one could touch him. Then he, of course, went to UFC in that big trade with Demetrius Johnson. Didn't go his way, but every fight he was in was pretty remarkable and memorable. The Robbie Lawler one and, of course, Masvidal. Less so the Demian Maia fight, but, lots of love to Ben Askren. Let's see hopefully there's some miracle there. Right. Annie Mattel Archive says, I hope they bring back Kadestam and Issy. Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Didn't Gary Tonin write a flame post against ONE? Yeah, he did. He sat out for a long time after that. That was September last year. But yes, basically, I'm gonna have to wrap it up soon. It would be good to see some interviews on here with some Friday Fights lads and lasses who are doing big things. Well, yeah, I'm gonna try and get some more focus on them because they're also a bit easier to get hold of. So yeah, I'm thinking to put Michael from last Friday's show on. I'm gonna get in touch with him again. He sort of verbally agreed to it while we were outside the stadium last Friday. But yeah, I love talking to some of those. I'm also toying with the idea of doing a frequent live stream on Fridays during the first half of the show and getting some of the early winners on from the international card, so to speak. Don't think I could handle a 4-hour stream going all the way through the main event. A 5-hour stream probably would be, but we'll see. Yeah, that was that. My voice is running out, so I'm probably gonna leave it soon. Yotkin Pon, the former K1 champ, will join ONE soon too. Tetsuya says yes, he will fight in the bantamweight kickboxing division. Yeah, that was some news that dropped just as I landed in Bangkok last Tuesday, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm just looking through my Twitter feed to see if there's anything I've missed. I don't think so, but I don't think I got time to even talk about it. We'll have to come back on Wednesday or something for another show. I've tried to fit it all in. Yeah, it's been a busy few days, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope I covered everything you wanted me to cover. I'm sure there's some other stuff I've missed out. Oh, of course, some news I broke. Musin Shafi also has been released by ONE. Not too surprising, was 0-3 in the promotion. but he did fight the best, the big names. So I'm not sure. Maybe he asked for his release. Not sure, but there it is. I think I've covered everything else for you guys. And my voice is dying. I will leave it there. Right. Yeah, talk amongst yourselves. I'm looking at the chat, but I just haven't got the voice to talk anymore. What about my earlier question? Oh, what did you ask? Yeah, let me scroll up, Tickers. Was it about Gary Tonin? Dicky's saying we can't hear you when you play a vid. The volume of the vid is too loud. Okay, I won't talk over those. I gotta get my sound levels right. Sorry, guys. Just need a producer. Amor wants Misaki's partner Kazuki Osaki. Sorry, Misaki's partner Kazuki Osaki in one. The whole Osaki family. Yeah, that'd be cool. She does look a little like Stamp. Mike says, yeah. Where's Dicky's questions? I'm just trying to find them. Sorry. Many people claim the MMA market's slowing down. PFL shows cancelled. UFC Quebec not sold out. Hexagon cutting bonuses. What's your feeling with ONE? Yeah, I do think MMA is slowing down a bit. ONE is part of that too. I think, yeah, it's tough to even compete with the UFC. I think a better model is to kind of go regional with your MMA. It's what PFL is doing now, trying to tap into other markets like Europe, Africa, Pacific. They also got right MENA. I think ONE would do well. I've said it before. I think just stop focusing on America and try and. They've been asleep at the wheel a little bit in Asia. They've stopped focusing on some of those markets they made good headway in before, like Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia. Now they could go back to. I'm sure they go back to Malaysia with Ghazali, and a few others. They've got Alif, Riftin, Mastor, Jihin. They could do a show there. Definitely could go to Philippines with some MMA with Pasio, Zamboanga. They need to do that now already. I don't know why they haven't. God knows how long those two will have those belts. So they've got to strike while the iron's hot. Yeah, MMA is in a tough spot. I think overall there's a bit of fatigue from it. It had a big rise, didn't it, in about 10, 12 years ago. It really started going on a huge trajectory. Starting to fall a little bit now with some of the big names that were part of that trajectory all departing, like McGregor, Khabib. John Jones is just messing around nowadays. Rousey's long gone, and I think, yeah, there are less stars these days, definitely in the UFC. So, I don't know if that's answered it. Sorry, Dickers. I'm running out of time here. Maybe we can talk a bit more on Wednesday about other stuff. I had to focus today on the recap. I hope you could forgive me. But that's it. Might be able to make it for a Malaysia show, depending on location, Lewis. Yeah, you should come over from Singapore. It's not too far. Alif versus Prajanchai at Axiata Arena in Malaysia. I would love that, but I think they will do it at Lumpini. Itsuki, Hirata, no idea. Percy. Kenzo, not happy with Diego Paez playing dirty and poking JoJo's eyes. Yes. Have a good week, Sean. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just, I don't know, my voice is a bit dry. Been talking non-stop for an hour and a half nearly, so I'll go get a glass of water and chill. But yeah, that'll do, guys. Let's catch up on Wednesday. I'll try and do another show for you then. We can discuss a few other things. I'll try and get a couple guests as well. All right. Hope you enjoyed it.